You know, it used to be said that Virginia was for lovers. And as of late, it seems like it's more for criminals and the criminally minded. Not to mention people in power who seem to be just as criminally minded. You want to find out what's going on? Stick with me. Here we go. Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. This video that I'm putting together, I'm actually taking a clip from my last video that I put out a couple of days ago, and it was about crimes that have been committed against Americans by obviously criminals, but some illegal immigrants. Now, just to give a quick recap, I'm going to play this video clip, and this was about the man who killed the woman at the bus stop in Virginia. Okay, it's been circulating on the news, and it just seems as if whoever's in charge in Virginia, okay, doesn't seem to get the memo that what they're doing is putting people in harm's way, putting people in danger. Okay, but I want to play this video clip first just to set it up, because the next video that I'm going to play after this, something new that came out, okay, a different crime by a different person. It's really gonna, for lack of a better term, it's really gonna piss a lot of people off, and rightly so. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna play this video, and I'll let you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here we go.
32-year-old Abdul Jallo is facing a murder charge for the stabbing death of Stephanie Minter. It happened at a bus stop in the Hybla Valley section of Fairfax County last week. And this morning, Jallo made his first court appearance since this incident, but it was for another crime.
Oh, and right quickly, you're not seeing double. I'm here live on top, well, doing the new video. You're going to hear me putting in my reaction down at the bottom when I put the video out first.
Our Matthew Torres was there and explains how, despite a laundry list of charges, Jallo was still allowed to roam the streets.
It's at this Walmart on Richmond Highway in Hybla Valley where employee Ivan Atoya says a man tried to steal a 45-inch TV 2 months ago.
When we stopped him, he seemed pretty calm, pretty tame.
Atoya appeared in court to testify against the suspect, 32-year-old Abdul Jallo, but that hearing was pushed back, giving Jallo time to get a public defender and address new allegations that he stabbed and killed a woman named Stephanie Minter at a bus stop last week.
You kind of have to be careful, because you don't really know what someone is capable of.
Jallo frequented this Hybla Valley community, well known to both prosecutors and police.
Court records show Jallo has a lengthy criminal history with more than 30 cases against him. Several of the charges were for malicious wounding, assault and battery, disorderly conduct, and even rape.
Okay, did you guys hear that so far? 30 different convictions, one of them being for rape. And this man is out walking the streets. Oh, it gets better. The story gets better, because you're going to see how the finger pointing starts. Nobody wants to take accountability, but they're willing to point fingers. We're going to get to that, but let's finish watching this.
Prosecutors dropped most of the cases.
Seeing someone that has a lot of charges on that is kind of scary.
A spokesperson for the Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney's Office says they were unable to prosecute those cases because victims could not be located or contacted despite police efforts to bring them to court.
Okay, so they couldn't find the victims. The victims were too scared, whatever the case is. They didn't want to, have to deal with this trauma again. And it makes you wonder, hold on one second. If this guy committed 30 different crimes, okay, some of them involving victims, and those victims are too scared, or whatever the case is, that they don't want to appear in court, shouldn't it be up to the state, like they do in Florida, that if somebody winds up calling the cops on somebody saying that a crime was committed, but they're too afraid to show up in court, which that happens a lot in a lot of rape cases, they give the victim the chance to see if they still want to go ahead with the prosecution or be part of it. And if they say no because they're afraid, from what I know, Florida says okay, but if you don't, that's fine, because the state is going to continue with the prosecution. I find it hard to believe that in Virginia, okay, because this is where this happened, that just because this man didn't have the victims that he committed crimes against go and basically point them out in court, that the state didn't take it upon themselves to say, you know what, first of all, this is an illegal immigrant. He is breaking the law 30 times to be exact. And on the last time, okay, people, I hope you guys are still with me. Pay attention to everything that I'm saying, okay? A lot of these things that I'm saying, they're key to the next part of the video that I'm going to play. Okay? What did he do? Or second to last time, because supposedly he got picked up for trying to steal a freaking 40-inch TV. If that's the way the story goes. But what did he do? What was his final crime? He took an innocent woman's life. And now, all of a sudden, he's behind bars with no bail. When he probably should have been kicked out the country the first time he broke the law. But leave it up to all you liberals and Democrats, okay, to want to have all these different little rules and laws for illegal immigrants. Again, failed policies. And it cost another American their life. Let's continue.
Guy has 5 stabbings under his belt, a prior rape charge, and we're going to let him walk? It doesn't make any sense.
But Jallow did have 1 felony conviction for malicious wounding in 2023. Jallow was sentenced to 2 years with 5 years suspended, but was released 7 months later. Then he was arrested again and returned to court for violating probation. Jallow had the chance of going back to prison to serve the rest of his suspended sentence, but court documents say the prosecution and defense struck a deal instead. The judge accepted that.
Okay, that's where I'm going to end this. So you guys heard all that. You heard the part about the prosecution and the defense struck a deal, which basically let this man go early, and instead of calling ICE or just holding him until ICE could come and pick him up and kick him out the country after he served his time, nope, they let him go, and the inevitable happened. Okay? And not only did the inevitable happen, he wind up killing that poor woman, was still out in the street, and still went and tried to commit another crime as if it was water off a duck's back of what he did. Okay? Now, I hope you guys are ready to get really pissed off with the next video clip that I'm going to show you. Here we go. This story came out 3 days ago, right on the heels of that last story. Okay? You guys got the gist of it. Listen to this.
Only on 7 News Now, an 18-year-old Fairfax County high school student who is in the country illegally has been charged with multiple counts of assault for allegedly groping girls in the hallway. Our Nick Minock was the first to report this story and spoke exclusively with the girls' parents. We do want to warn you here, some of these details may not be appropriate for younger viewers.
Israel Flores Ortez is almost 19 years old and in the 11th grade at Fairfax County High School. About a dozen girls have come forward to report that Ortez put his hands between their legs and grabbed their privates while in the school hallways. Now he's in jail, facing 9 counts of assault. 7 News has also learned Ortez is an illegal immigrant from El Salvador who crossed the southern border in 2024 and was released under federal government policy at that time.
Okay. You guys pissed off yet? Because it's going to get worse. Okay? Another illegal immigrant, this time a 19-year-old dude, okay, has went and assaulted 12 different girls. And you're probably asking yourself, well, wait a minute. How did he get that far? Was it all in one day? No, it wasn't. It was over a span of time. But once again, people want to ignore it. Why? Because of liberal and Democrat policies that protect monsters like this dude, just like the monster that they protected that wind up taking a woman's life. It gets better. Here we go.
After his arrest, ICE issued a detainer for Ortez last week in order to deport him, but tells me the Fairfax County Sheriff is not honoring that detainer. At a court hearing attended by many of the girls' parents Friday morning, Ortez's attorney requested he be let out on bail. The prosecutor from Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Descano's office agreed. But
Did you catch that? The sheriff would not honor the detainer. In other words, they don't want to work with ICE. And who is in the spotlight again? That's right, the prosecutor. The same prosecutor supposedly that was in charge of the last case that made a deal with the defense in order to let go of Jala, who wound up killing that poor woman at the bus stop.
Judge did not. After reviewing the surveillance video from the school,
Sorry, let me go back a little bit.
agreed. But the judge did not.
Sorry, one more time.
From Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Toscano's office, agreed. But the judge did not. After reviewing the surveillance video from the school district and...
All right, I'm sorry about the bad editing. In other words, once again, the prosecutor and the defense decided to let this guy go. On top of the fact that the sheriff was not going to honor the ICE detainer. The judge came out and said, no, I'm going to overturn that. We're sticking his ass in prison. Okay? Why couldn't the judge, in the first video that I showed you, do the same thing to Jala and keep him in prison? Why couldn't he overturn what the prosecutor and the defense, the deal that they made, come out and say, no, this man is a danger to people? So they let that man go. He wind up killing someone, on top of raping someone also. Okay? This judge said, that's not going to happen. Do I tell you people that the criminally minded corruption is not just for the criminals? There are people in political power that are just as criminally minded. This kid should have been arrested the very first time he went and assaulted a girl in school, and he should have been put in prison, and after that he should have been kicked out the country. But no, can't have that.
And in spite of the prosecutor supporting his release, the judge felt that the bail request did not properly address the public safety. The parents were relieved because they say they've been told Ortez would be allowed back in school if he were released. But that's just one of the issues that has these moms mad at the school district.
They have attempted to sweep it under the rug. They sent out a letter last night saying again
After
that
we demanded it, multiple parents demanded that there be a letter before we got it.
but it was a completely sanitized letter.
Weeks after the incidents were reported to police, Principal Georgina A. sent an email to parents saying in part, quote, "These incidents involved the student touching the student's buttocks while they were transitioning in the hallway."
You hear that? Weeks. The sheriff was sitting on this information for weeks. This is insane, people. People need to start going to prison, regardless if you're a prosecutor, a defense attorney, a sheriff, a deputy, a judge. People need to start going to prison, especially when it comes to all these illegal immigrants that are committing crimes and being let out in the streets.
Yeah, no. I would not be here for butt slapping. I would be upset about that, but I wouldn't have, this wouldn't be my second day this week here at the courthouse for that. It was a clear violation that he put his hand in between my daughter's legs, and the butt was actually the last thing that he touched.
The parents also told me the principal downplaying what happened has only created more problems.
The girls have experienced harassment and bullying from peers at school, including people that they once thought were their friends. And the letter that they sent out referencing it only as buttocks touching just adds fuel to the rumors that they were just attention seeking.
Another detail that came to light is that Ortez has been engaging in this behavior all school year, according to the prosecutor, and nothing has been done about it until now. I asked the school district about that. They said they can't comment on this case and that student safety is their top priority. Reporting in Fairfax.
Yeah, student safety is their top priority. But meanwhile, the kid's been doing this, or the dude's been doing this. He's an adult now. He's over 18. So you have an adult in the school groping possibly underage girls And it doesn't matter whether they're underage or 18 or over, but he's assaulting females. And you have all these liberals and Democrats that are running Fairfax County who are supposed to be pro-women, okay? From the school district, whoever's working in the school, the principal, to the sheriff, to the prosecutor, you name it. They're all saying, nah, it's nothing. Keep it hush-hush. Send out a letter. We'll just keep it quiet. We'll just, once again, we'll hide the illegal immigrant that's out there sexually assaulting our children, our women. You guys pissed off yet? Anybody? Any of you people on the left? Are you okay with that? Are you okay that if it was your daughter that some guy just came and stuck his hands in between her legs, groped her, whatever? You're okay with that? Are you sure? I tell you people, you know, I am so sick and tired of listening to all these people like Joy Reid or people on MSNBC or The View when they come out, and one of their arguments is that illegal immigrants commit less crimes than American-born citizens. That is the weakest, most non-compassionate excuse and answer you could ever give anyone. And to think that you people keep saying and hollering that the man in the White House, for what he's doing, makes him a criminal, and yet you people keep turning a blind eye to the criminals. You people are sick. It is straight up sickening. And one more thing before I end this video. I could understand if it was one girl, okay, and the parents came out and said something, and you know, this hit the news. You're talking 12 different girls who have come forward to say something. Where are the men? Where are the fathers? Where are the uncles, the brothers, okay, the cousins, the homeboys? Where are all the men protecting the women, especially starting with the fathers? Where are you? Because I tell you what, I don't have any kids, but if I had a daughter come home and tell me that some dude 18 years old or over did this, I'd be the one probably going to prison. You best believe that. Okay? I cannot understand for the life of me how women could get on TV, the mothers, and be upset about this. Where are the men standing next to them? You know, you got more men fighting for gay civil rights than you do standing around and fighting for women and these young women, these young females. Where's the rally of disgust for the man that killed, again, that poor woman at the bus stop? The video that I showed you a couple of days ago that I put out, that I dropped, okay, even the black girl at the end, they came out and said the guy that cursed her out, and she said that it was a hate crime, she stood on camera alone. Where was the men protecting her? Where were the men for all the other victims that I pointed out? And yet you have men, you have the sheriff, the prosecutor, the first judge, and the defense attorneys, men, I don't know if they're male or female, all gathering together to help these criminals stay out of prison. Not wanting to help ICE do their job. But now, since it's hitting the airwaves, all of a sudden, oh, we got him, yeah, after the 12th time this guy went and groped a female. After the 30th time, the last guy went and committed crimes and finally took a woman's life. And here's the thing. Taking someone's life, if anybody thinks that, oh, that was a one-off, no, that was because he got caught. I even hate to think if that man went and killed anybody else and nobody knows about it, nobody can put the pieces together. But that man going out there and killing that poor woman at that bus stop, I'm not going to believe for a hot minute that was a one-off. Just saying it. You know why? Because this kid, it wasn't a one-off for him. He did it 12 times. When are you people going to wake up? When are you people going to open up your eyes and realize that, you know what? Not everybody that comes out and says, I want to come to America, can be trusted. Not everyone that is born in America who is a criminal that comes out and says, let me out, I'm not going to do it again. In all honesty, I have to admit, not all of them can be trusted. But you people on the left, you liberals, you Democrats, you think everyone can be trusted. And then when somebody says something about it, you vilify them. You try to do what the school did. Put out a letter trying to sweep it under the rug. It's horribly disgusting, man. It's disgusting. I just wanted to put this video out, so that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for President Trump. And don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.